Hi guys, so we're here again to talk about some books that I need to finish before 2021 ends. So let's just begin. So today we're here to talk about some historical fiction that I need to finish, or at least start, finish, read, that I need to read before the ending of 2021. So let me just give you guys a backstory of my relationship with historical fiction because it's something that needs to be noted. So historical fiction is one of the very many lists on the it's one of the genres that I was extremely intimidated by, because I don't know, there's just something about history and Eghe that does not mix. Like, it's like oil and water. And I was just like, because when someone says historical fiction, I just think, oh, it's just going to be about First World War, Second World War, and how people die and lose family, and it's just going to be very sad, and I don't want to be a part of that. And to be fair, there are some that are like that, but there are also some that are not actually like that. And I think recently I started reading more. I read one, I think, The Mountain Sing, which is actually about the Vietnamese War. I mean, it's just about a war, and I read it for my book club, and this book was so difficult for me to read because it is about a war, and I was just like, I can't do this, but I did, and I really enjoyed it. And I also read The First Woman, which is also a historical fiction, but it didn't really focus on the war aspect, so it was easier for me to read. And after reading The First Woman, I realized that even if I always said, oh, I don't do historical fiction, I have actually read quite a few before without actually realizing that I was reading historical fiction. And I really enjoyed it. And so now I have opened up myself to the love and the beauty that is historical fiction, this new world. And I am really having a good time. And so I've made it my goal in life to read as many historical fiction as I can. And so I'm going to talk about a few that I want to read before the year runs out. Goes a little something like the first on this list is Kintu by Jennifer Nansubuga Makumbi. So I read The First Woman, which is, I believe, the author's most recent work, and I really enjoyed it. So I was like, why not just read everything that this author has written before? So I have not been able to get the physical copy yet, but my God, it is a goal for me this 2021 to get all Makumbi books. So, and I only have, I believe the only two I have to get that I know are available now, Manchester happened, and Kintu. So anyway, that's by the way. So Kintu now by Makumbi. Let's just read the synopsis because I don't know how to explain it. So Uganda's history reimagined through the cursed bloodline of Kintu clan in an award-winning debut. So in 1750, Kintu Kida unleashes a curse that will plague his family for generations. In this ambitious tale of clan and a nation, Makumbi weaves together the stories of Kintu's descendants as they seek to break from the burden of their shared past and reconcile the inheritance of tradition and the modern world that is their future. So I believe this is a historical fiction, and this is Makumbi we're talking about. So of course I already feel like this is going to be an instant 5-star, but I'm not sure yet. So I don't want to say too much, but I can already feel it in my bone that I'm going to love this. So the next is Pachinko by Min Jin Lee, and this book is quite popular on Bookstagram, at least the side of Bookstagram that I find myself in. I have everybody that has read this book and reviewed it, loved it. So yes, of course, I'm going to read it. So I'm just going to read. And I also heard recently that there's going to be an adaptation of this into a movie, and Lee Min-ho, the Korean actor, yes, that person is going to be in it. And is this not the face of an excited fan? If this is not the face, then I don't know what is. But anyway, excited. So it kind of really is making me want to read this book more. and also because I've only seen good reviews and positive reviews of this book, so of course I would want to read this. So basically, Pachinko book description: in the early 1900s, teenage Sunja, the adored daughter of a crippled fisherman, falls for the wealthy stranger at the seashore near her home in Korea. He promises her the world, but when she discovers she is pregnant and that her lover is married, she refuses to be bought. Instead, she accepts an offer of marriage from a gentle, sickly minister passing through on his way to Japan. But her decision to abandon her home and to reject her son's powerful father sets off a dramatic saga that will echo down through the generation. Richly told and profoundly moving, Pachinko is the story of love, sacrifice, ambition, and loyalty, from bustling street markets to the halls of Japan's first universities, to the Pachinko parlors of the criminal underworld. Lee's complex and passionate characters, strong, stubborn women, devoted sisters and sons, fathers shaken by moral crisis, survive and thrive against the indifferent arc of history. That's a lot to take in, and yes. So anyway, I feel like maybe this is me over exaggerating, but I feel like every book on this list is an instant 5-star for me already. I don't know how true this will be, but I'm honestly excited. Then the next is The Night's Diary by Veera Hiranandani, and this, I think this is a middle grade book. But anyway, let's just keep going to the description. So in 1974, it's 1974, and India, newly independent of British rule, has been separated into two countries, Pakistan and India. The divide has created much tension between Hindus and Muslims, and hundreds of thousands are killed crossing borders. Half Muslim, half Hindu 12-year-old Nisha doesn't know where she belongs or what her country is anymore. When Papa decides it's too dangerous to stay in what is now Pakistan, Nisha and her family becomes refugees and embark first by train, but later on foot to reach her new home. The journey is too long, difficult and dangerous, and after losing her mother as a baby, Nisha can't imagine losing her homeland too. But even if her country has been ripped apart, Nisha still believes in the possibility of putting herself back together. Told through Nisha's letter to her mother, The Night Diary is a heartfelt story of one girl's search for home, her own identity, and a hopeful future. Oh my God, I can't wait to read this one, I won't lie. The next is Brother Skipper by Julie Lee, and this, I believe, is also a middle grade. Although I'm calling it middle grade, but it might not be a middle grade, but just be a book that is told that where the main character is a young person, but it's not necessarily middle grade. I don't know why I keep on calling it middle grade. So synopsis: North Korea, December 1950. 12-year-old Sora and her family lives under an iron set of rules: no travel without permits, no criticism of the government, no absence from communist meeting, wear red, hang pictures of the great leader, don't trust your neighbor, don't speak your mind, you are being watched. But war is coming. War between the North and South Korea. That's the North of Jesus Christ. War between North and South Korea, between the Soviets and the Americans. War causes chaos, and war is a perfect time to escape. The plan is simple. Sora and her family will walk hundreds of miles to the South Korean city of Busan from their tiny mountain village. They just need to avoid napalm, frostbite, border guards, and enemy soldiers, but they can't. And when an incendiary bombing changes everything, Sora and her little brother Young will have to get to Busan on their own. Can a 12-year-old girl and 8-year-old brother and her 8-year-old brother survive 300 miles of war zone in winter? I don't know, but I need to find out. Anyway, oh my God, I honestly cannot wait to read these books. I can't wait. That's just the truth. I can't wait. These books are just sound amazing. And then the next is The Shadow King by Maaza. I can't pronounce his name. I'm so sorry. I can't pronounce his name. So With the threat of Mussolini's army looming, recently orphaned Hiru struggles to adapt to her new life as a maid in Kidani and his wife Asta's household. Kidani, an officer in the Emperor Haile Selassie army, rushes to mobilize his strongest men before the Italians invade. His initial kindness to Hiru shifts into filthy cruelty when she resists his advances, and Hiru finds herself stumbling into a new world of theft and violations of betrayal and overwhelming rage. Meanwhile, Mussolini's technologically advanced army prepares for an easy victory. Hundreds of thousands of Italians, Jewish photographer Ito among them, march on Ethiopia seeking adventure. As war begins in earnest, Hirut, Asta, and the other women long to do more than care for the wounded and bury the dead. When Emperor Haile, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that well, Haile Selassie, goes into exile and Ethiopia loses its hope, it is Hirut who offers a plan to maintain morale. She helps disguise a gentle peasant as the king, as the emperor, and soon becomes his guard, inspiring women to take up arms against the Italians. But how could she have predicted her own personal war as a prisoner of Italy's most vicious officer, who will force her to pose before Ito's camera? This sounds like a lot, but honestly, I will not lie, I am excited for all these books. And so, for the final book in this list is The Island of Seawomen by Lisa C. And this book, I actually started it last year, but I have been unable to complete it because it got really emotional for me and I have to stop. But I really want to finish this book before this year ends because this is one of the most beautiful books I have read and I need to finish it. Oh, and this one is, I can't remember what this book is, but it's basically about, The Island of Seawomen is basically about henyos, which are like female divers on Jeju Island. They are about, and then takes place during, I think, Second World War. Like Second World War is the background. I really can't say. It's a book about friendship between two women and just how their life progresses and everything. It's a really beautiful book. I'm almost done. It got really emotional and I had to stop. But it's a really beautiful book. Anyway, so we've come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching this video to this point with me so far. If you've read any of the books I mentioned here, please don't forget to drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on these books. I honestly cannot wait to read them. I'm really excited and I feel like everything here is going to be 5 stars, but I'm not sure. I'm just talking, but I already feel like, because they all sound really amazing and I'm so excited. Anyway, see you next time.